Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. From Studio A, inside the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, this is your place for all things automotive, the award-winning In Wheel Time car talk show. Coming up, we talk to Cireen Piz, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, getting your car ready for summer road trips. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin, and our chief engineer, David Ainsley. I'm Bert Parks. There she is.
No, burnt parts?
Miss America.
Did he say burnt parts?
Yeah,
What parts
burnt
of his
parts.
burnt
parts.
You get old,
burnt parts.
Old parts are burnt.
Old parts are burnt. Set them on fire. Smoking.
I actually was referring to Cireen Piz, me being Bert Parks from the Miss America days. Remember her? Remember him? There she is. Used to sing that song.
She's got the wave. She's got the prom queen wave going there.
She does. Serene, it's good to see you. You know, we've been
you guys.
You didn't know this, but we've been watching you for the past 15 minutes. With
moving cars around, I'm sure.
Moving cars,
yes, with that.
changing clothes, doing the hair.
Mike thought you were in the restroom at one point.
Make sure the hair looks okay. Got the hat on.
Yeah, it all looks great. Hey, it's great to see you, and thanks for joining us today. We understand you're going to go see. We understand that you're going to go see Grandma for her 90th birthday.
That I am, yes. Heading out to Colorado this evening to go see my grandma. Today is her 90th birthday, so we're having a big old get-together in Colorado.
How
tomorrow
fun.
at a park.
Yeah, how fun.
I hear your Katie is out there.
Yeah, she's not there today.
Okay.
Right now she is in San Francisco. She spent a week at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and their home office is in San Francisco, so that's why she's there. She'll be there till Wednesday. And this is all through texts. I get this stuff. Oh yeah, Dad, I don't have time I don't have time to have you come and pick up the car. I don't have time for that. I'm going to Croatia. She gives me this long schedule of where she's going to be and where she. So I just find out yesterday, I think it was, that she's going to Croatia sometime in the next couple of months. What's there? I don't know what's there. It's not a vacation.
It's a little more than just a road trip, a summer road trip.
I'll say, to say the least. But speaking of summer road trips, I wanted to talk to you today about getting our regular, everyday driver cleaned up and ready for a family road trip. Let's say, for instance, that we're going to go see my Aunt Mary, who's deceased. Go see my Aunt Mary up in Wisconsin. Okay. And that's a 1,200-mile trip. We're going to be locked in the car together, probably for 2 days. It's a 1,200-mile trip. And we want to have.
I'm going to say the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure to invest in an air freshener. If you're locked in a car together that long together, you might need a good air freshener.
And what do you suggest for as far as an air freshener is concerned? I use those Febreze things. They're pretty good.
I like the little trees.
You know, I love the Febreze things, the little vent clips.
Yeah.
I absolutely love those things. The little Glade ones, just the cheap little, whatever you can buy at Walmart or, wherever.
Mars is still using the cutout pine tree.
Yeah, hang it from the mirror.
They hang it from the mirror. He goes back to 1950.
A detailer secret is if you need a quick air freshener, keep some dryer sheets in a Ziploc bag and stick them in your vents. If you need somebody, breaks wind in the car while everybody else is in there, shove them in the vents real quick. It makes everything smell like laundry.
Shove them in the person's vent or the vent of the car?
The vents of the car.
Yeah, there's that. Well, that's a great idea. I never even thought about that.
I keep dryer sheets in my truck, but it's to get the bugs off.
They stay pretty fresh for quite a while. So
well, that's a great idea. And I'm going to try that. Next time I buy one of those expensive little Febreze vent things, I'll try some dryer sheets. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I put them down in the feet ones so you can't see them sticking out. You put them down in the little feet vents and you just turn that on and it smells nice.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, does it have vents down there?
It does, actually.
It
does.
And you look like a Wrangler person.
Of course I'm a Wrangler girl. I mean, come on. Who else has, they're bandanas. Look at them. They're pink bandanas.
She got her nails done for her trip. I love it.
I did.
All right, so let's start on the outside of the car. And I know that washing has always been a big thing over there at Gulf Coast Auto Shield. We learned from John several years ago that you use 2 buckets and not one like I used to use. I don't ever
Correct.
do
You
that
always
anymore.
want to use a soap bucket and then a clean rinse bucket with a grit guard in the bottom.
Yes.
So that way you're not picking up the dirt and the bugs and the stinger off the bee that was stuck to your grill and wiping it all over your car.
Right. And, you know, it's funny because I actually bought one, well, a couple of years ago. I've got the blue one over there that's got a grit guard in it. And I think I bought it at Walmart or something. It was cheap and it was easy to get. It was there.
Yeah. You know, you don't need some big fancy bucket system. A Home Depot bucket and a grit guard that you can pick up for a couple of bucks at Walmart.
What kind of mitt do you use?
What is it? It's a microfiber mitt is what it is. I don't like the ones that have the little fingers.
Okay.
You know which ones I'm talking
Yeah,
about. They
I
got
do.
little fingery things on them. I don't like those ones. They tend to hold on to too much stuff.
Gotcha.
I like the microfiber ones.
But it's a mitt.
It is a mitt.
Not
yes.
a glove,
I actually
but it's a
never
mitt.
put my hand inside of the mitt itself. Because to me, I don't get as much control. Let me see. I know we've got a stinking mitt somewhere. Of course, there's not one on the shelf when I go to look for it, right?
Of course.
Never would be.
I like
Never
the
would be.
Christmas tree that's in the window in the waiting room.
You know, we keep that Christmas tree up year round, and it gets decorated by John's wife for every holiday.
That's good. So what is Memorial Day holiday? American flags?
Yes, so she puts up American flags, and then that stays up through,
July.
July
4th
4th.
of July. Thank
Yeah.
you, yes.
Yeah.
So these are like the mitts that we use, yes.
Oh, they're
You put
big.
your hand, you can.
I got you. All right.
Yeah,
So,
so they're big, they're fluffy, but I never do. I always just kind of grab a hold of it.
yeah.
Because I like to fill up the mitt part. I like to open it up and put my soap in there so that way it kind of sloshes everywhere.
Okay.
I like to have a little fun
And
with it.
speaking of that, what kind of soap do we use?
We use personally here, we use the McGuire's Gold.
That's what I use. Imagine that.
It's really good stuff. There's a lot of people that kind of poo-poo on, McGuire's because you can buy it so easily, but it is actually a great product.
And it doesn't take a whole lot of it.
No.
And it's really not that expensive. You can buy a half gallon at Walmart pretty cheap.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, McGuire's also has a great spray wax. Spray waxes these days are the way to go instead of your old paste waxes.
Oh,
now,
God.
the McGuire's, what is it? It comes in a tin. I love that stuff, but it's just, if you're just trying to get out, get on the road, it's very time consuming.
Labor intensive.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've always hated about paste waxes. Oh my God, it gets stuck in all the crevices and turns white, and it's just a mess to get off the car. Okay.
It really is, and you can never even just wash it off the car either.
And one of the other things, and don't kill me. Of course, I don't do this on the Corvette, but if you got an everyday driver and you've got emblems on it and that sort of stuff, a soft bristled toothbrush is a good thing, and so are Q-tips.
Q-tips. You know what I actually suggest is go buy a cheap thing of makeup brushes, because makeup brushes are so soft for a woman's skin that it's really gentle in and around the emblems.
You have some of those, don't you?
Yeah, he's
John?
got some.
I do have
Start
some makeup.
recycling
I'm sure you got
those.
some of those stored underneath your
He's
sink
got
in
one
your
in-
bathroom, right, Don?
He's got
Yeah.
one in his pocket right now.
Right now, yeah, it's right there, right in front of my makeup mirror.
Is that a soft brush you're?
Yeah.
Yeah,
doing there?
exactly. Well, there is that. All right, so I think we got the exterior taken care of, don't you think?
Most definitely.
Yeah. One of the things that's real easy to detail are the tail lights of a car. And it's funny because you pull up to a car that's been detailed and you look at the tail lights, and, most of them are pretty detailed.
Pretty intricate.
As far as design is concerned, and the dirt gets stuck in there and what have you. And if those are really clean, you got a clean car, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the inside.
Okay.
So we
on the interior, one big thing that most people do not do when they go to clean their interiors is get down in no man's land. In between the center console and the seat. That's where all the French fries, all the popcorn, bottle caps, all the stuff that tends to stick. Quick detailer secret is take your air chuck and just blow all that crap out before you decide to vacuum.
That's a wonderful idea. And you know what? They also make aerosol cans of air for your computer.
Yeah.
And if you don't
Correct.
and if you don't have a nozzle hooked up to the compressor, you don't have all that. Just get you a can of
If
that.
you're not
Well, I
at
have-
the compressor.
I have to say something. I've never eaten anything in my new car. And I will not allow any eating. I've got water. I've had a cup of coffee or two, but I won't eat fries, or if you get something from McDonald's or whatever, I don't open that bag until I get home.
Hell, I eat lunch in
See,
mine.
Kathy does the same thing. She'll eat a whole thing of French fries before you get home. And that's how they get spilled. The popcorn, no way. No, I don't eat in my car, so I'll never have that issue.
But, you know, Jeff is weird that way,
Yeah.
so we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
How about you, Mars?
what it
I've
is.
seen the inside of your truck.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to figure out how I can get get the air compressor on one end under the seats and the vacuum cleaner and hose on the other end, kind of blow it all in there together.
I heard they found the Lindbergh baby in your car.
Now, I will say this, that I have a vacuum cleaner that I've had for decades with one of those slim nozzles.
Yeah.
And, boy, I tell you what, I can get almost everything out with those slim nozzles. I use that slim nozzle for everything.
Oh, yes, yes. You know, what I do a lot of times is with my shop vac, is I hold my shop vac here and I've got the air in the other hand, and I just kind of blow it towards the shop
Yeah.
vac.
yeah, that's
So that way it sucks the majority of it up. You know, when you've got a lot of dog hair, you've got kids, you've got, you know, minivans always have goldfish and everything shoved into the cracks.
Yep.
And that air just gets rid of all
I
of it. That
remember-
really helps to get rid of
Yep.
any smells.
I remember vividly that car floor mats were to protect the carpet underneath the floor mat.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
then they all of a sudden decided, well, we're not going to make them rubber anymore. We're just going to make them carpet. So you got carpet on top of carpet. Now, what I do, you correct me if I'm doing it the wrong way, if it gets really bad and the mats get they smell like dirt, take the garden hose out, wash them all out, get the dirt out of them first. Then I take soap suds that I'm going to use for my laundry, put a little bit on there and brush it with a broom, get it all stirred up and sudsy and everything, and then rinse it again. Man, they're like brand new when you get done. Of course, you got to let them out in the sunshine.
Can I give you a quick tip for detailer secret to
Yeah,
work
please.
not as hard?
Yeah.
Go to the dollar store, buy a toilet brush. I know it sounds weird. Break off the end and stick it on your drill. It'll spin. And then you just and go down your mats. It'll brush out 90% of that crap before you ever wash it.
Listen to you.
Or just a good,
You know what?
good firm brush.
It just so happens I got some wall-to-wall carpet in the house. I'm thinking, well, there's a good idea. We'll just spend a good Saturday with the drill brush out there.
Toilet brush in your carpet.
Yeah.
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 There's that.
They make
Let-
these things called vacuum cleaners.
They do. I've
They
heard
do.
of those, Mike.
I have.
That
I
they do,
heard
yes,
of one once.
yes.
Yes.
So what do you do for stains? I ran across some stuff years ago when I was working at
I
Richardson
bet you did.
Chevrolet. And I got a can of it over there.
Stains
and
are important.
it really does the job when it comes to Coke stains, oil and grease stains, and it's a yellow and red can. While you guys think about that, I'm going to go get it and find out what the name of it is.
Oh, boy. Yellow and red can. Here we go. TikTok. What could it be? Well, WD is
Yellow and red
blue and
can.
yellow.
Yeah.
Is it called Awesome?
Could be Raid. I don't know.
There ain't no telling with him. It's behind
It
the
could be
curtain.
Raid.
I was going to tell you, you were talking about the floor mats. I had a brother-in-law, former brother-in-law. He bought a Chevrolet truck with rubber mats in it, you know. So he goes and buys rubber mats
you can't find
to
it.
put over the rubber mat. Okay, that's cool. But then he would take towels and put on the rubber mats to put your feet on. The towels to keep
So we could wash the towels.
right. So you wash the towels easier than washing the rubber mat that was protecting the rubber mat from the factory.
Or they just
Oh
turn them
my
over.
gosh.
Just turn over the carpet and have the rubber come up.
Well, if you fold it right, you can turn it over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you can. All right, what do we got?
Now, does anybody want to guess what it is?
I said I think it's called something awesome. Isn't it?
No.
No.
It's called
No.
Tough Stuff Multi-Purpose
Tufts.
Foam Cleaner.
Tough stuff. You know what? That is actually pretty good stuff for carpet.
Thank you.
It really is. It really is. Now, I don't suggest using that on leather.
No.
To be honest.
No.
Not at all.
It says here, carpet spots, seat stains, and vinyl surfaces, deep
boy.
cleaning. And if you follow the directions, I'm not even going to tell you how long it's been. You weren't even thought of back then, but I will tell you, we had it at Richardson Chevrolet, and if there was any problem with any of the carpet in the vehicle or
Yeah.
on the cloth seats, That's what we used, and it
Don,
always
Don uses it around the house all the time on the cloth seats.
Yeah.
I'm sure on the couch and the dining room chairs because he makes a mess when he eats. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. So, and back to the little space between the center console and the seat. Now they're making little things that go in there that you can put receipts in and what have
The
you.
little
Yeah,
inserts
storage,
where
little
everything
pockets.
falls to.
Yeah, exactly. You pull it out of there and then dump it out and start all over
And
again.
that really messes up my coin collecting hobby because that's where I get all my coins from. It's from in no man's land.
Customer card.
Does anybody use coins anymore? That's the real question.
Very rarely.
Yeah. So, tell me what your thoughts are about wiping stuff on the dashboard. And I think you know what kind of product I'm talking about.
Please don't use Harmerall.
Armor All
No.
is the
Armor
worst.
All.
So, I remember when that stuff came out. People put it on everything. It was horrible.
So because it's so oily, what it does is it absorbs the heat. It does not let
And the
the
dirt.
heat go. So that's what's bubbling and cracking dashes. It's terrible stuff. To be honest, what we use is the Grios leather conditioner.
On the dashboard.
On the dashboards, yes. It's great for the vinyl and for leathers. Yes.
Very good.
So that's what I suggest is definitely using a leather conditioner, not the Harmerall.
Okay.
No
It's
oil-based.
like back whenever
Water-based conditioners only.
your girlfriend could sit next to you, used to, in the early days. If you put too much armor on that seat, you go around a curve and she's gone. I mean, she's bouncing off the other.
slides.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Okay. Finally,
Never had that
what do
problem.
you use on tires?
Tires. Oh, gosh. So I do not like to use a petroleum-based tire shine. Right now, what we have, it's a product used by Nanoskin. It's a tire shine, but it's a water-based tire shine, so it's a no-sling tire shine. Because I like them just to look clean and, pretty.
Yes.
I don't like them to be oily and slick-looking.
Yeah.
And this stuff is absolutely
I'm
amazing.
right.
Love it.
I'm right with you. I found at Walmart again. I love Walmart's automotive department. Jay Leno's tire treatment, and it's not shiny. And you put it on your rag, and you wipe it off, and it looks like it's right out of the showroom floor at
And those are the
Discount
ones
Tire.
that I suggest is that you're putting onto a pad or putting onto a rag. You don't want to be spraying that crap because then you've got a freshly clean car and then you just sprayed stuff all over the body.
Exactly.
So that just makes more work for you.
Well,
Work
we hope
smarter,
that
not harder.
we hope that you have a wonderful time in Denver.
I surely will.
Are you going to be there? Let's see. Going tonight. I guess the big brouhaha is tomorrow. And
Correct. And then back tomorrow evening.
Oh, you're going to come back tomorrow night?
Yes, I have to be at work on Monday morning.
Are you taking Grandma to a dispensary?
No, that we do not. If Grandma wants to go, I'm sure she's got enough gumption to do it herself because I do come from her. So I'm just going to say is I'm Grandma light.
Gotcha.
When it comes to my personality.
I got you. Cireen Piz, we love you, doll. Thank you so much for taking
Love
the
you
time with us
guys.
today. Take the time with us today, and we will talk to you soon.
Hey, anytime. You just let me know, and I'm glad to be on here with y'all.
Thanks
Thanks,
again,
Cireen.
hon. Bye-bye.
Thank
you guys.
you.
Okay. Let's see. Just ahead, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll bring you this week's automotive news headlines, all coming up on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The NWell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the NWell Time Car Talk Show. Welcome back to NWell Time. Looking forward to seeing you at the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run in Granbury.
Yeah.
It's June the 12th. If you can't be there in person, join us for our live broadcast 9 to noon that day. Bunch of great guys, absolutely stunningly beautiful cars. It is a car club beyond car clubs.
Very cool.
And it's actually lots of car clubs that join the Lone Star Street Rod Association. So you've got cars from all over the state, and this is called the State Run. It's old school. This is their 50th anniversary.
I was going to say, it's a beautiful park, too. It's not just a parking lot. You park under trees. There's activities for the kids.
Yeah, beautiful
Plenty
park.
of restrooms and things there.
Yeah.
Food trucks.
And they've opened it up this year. They're going to open it up to 94, I believe. So it's kind of like your car's got to be 30 years old.
It keeps getting closer and closer to the Corvette.
Yeah. Give it another, 7 years, and you'll be in.
Yeah, I'll be dead by then.
You'll
but
be in, brother.
Whatever. Yeah. All right, time now for the racing calendar here on In Wheel Time, sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Thank you for that. NHRAs this weekend, the Gerber Collision and Glass Route 66 NHRA Nationals from Route 66 Raceway.
Chicago.
Craftsman Trucks are on this afternoon from North Wilkesboro. The Xfinity Boys are off this weekend, but NASCAR's at North Wilkesboro again tomorrow. And then, of course, you've got Indianapolis 500s coming up next week. It's going to be a big event. So that's all good. IMSA Racing, the Detroit Grand Prix is going on actually May 31st, so it's another week. I apologize for that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Detroit Grand Prix is May 31st.
The IndyCar?
IndyCar is the 25th.
So the week after
week
they
after,
do
yes,
Detroit.
it's
That traditionally used to be the Milwaukee Mile.
Oh, did not know that.
That was my first experience ever as a child going to an automobile race.
We need to bring that back to Houston, the street racing, because that's what it is.
Who-
Actually, Belle Isle is where
Who
they run
won
it.
that first race, Spartacus or?
And then we got Formula One.
Looking for my gun
on the
right
25th, Monaco Grand Prix in Monaco, Monte Carlo. So there you go. A lot of racing going on, plus your local tracks, all the dirt stuff, 8th Mile drag racing and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, Rodney's going to be with us next week. We're going to talk about that and the upcoming races for Memorial Weekend. There's a lot of big races
lots of
that
stuff.
weekend.
Lots of stuff.
I've got a hankering.
I agree.
I got a hankering to go see me a World of Outlaws race.
Uh-oh.
And I may just have to make that trek. I think that the closest place that they come to here is Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have to look.
Tulsa's the big. Is it Tulsa where they got the
Tulsa's a big one,
The big
yeah.
one.
The Chili Bowl.
And then
Chili
the
Bowl.
Chili
Yeah,
Bowl.
we got a couple of
that's
guys down in my area go up there and race.
yeah, that's in January, I think.
Didn't Tony Stewart used to own that track? Or did he sell it or did he still own it?
I don't know. Chili Bowl?
Well, I think he still
yeah.
owns that
Does he?
track. I don't know that he runs in the Chili Bowl.
I don't know.
Is that where they ran over that driver? Was that the Chili Bowl? Some
Might have been.
World of Outlaws.
Yeah,
thing.
somebody got run over up there.
Every day.
Yeah. All right, let's do some headlines, shall we? U.S. and China said they'll temporarily lower tariffs on each other's products in a dramatic ratcheting down of trade tensions that buys the world's two largest economies 3 months to work toward a broader agreement. The combined 145% U.S. levies on most Chinese imports will be reduced to 30%, including the rate tied to fentanyl by May 14th, while 125% Chinese duties on U.S. goods will drop to 10%, according to a joint statement from officials in a briefing on Monday in Geneva. I had several tariff stories that I was going to do, and because it changes so often, it's kind of a waste of time. I can't. If I told you a story today, it was a story that happened last week, and since last week, they haven't written another story about that particular aspect of the tariffs. And I'm thinking, this is a waste of time. I had like 4 or 5 stories. And I thought, no, I'm just not going to do it. I'll explain to you why I'm not doing that. So there you have it.
Yeah, we've talked to several people about coming on and talking about tariffs, but that's the same thing they say. It happens so fast that it's hard to do.
And my gut tells me that all of this is going to work out for us in the long run. It's going to take a little time. It's very complicated, and I went over that not only in an interview that we had, but also in a story that I read to everybody last week or week before about the complexity of finding the American content in a car. It doesn't make any difference where it's built. Canada, Mexico, the United States. It has different components made in different parts. And some of those parts go across the border, back to the United States, back across the border. So when it starts doing all of that stuff, where do you draw the line? How do you say, well, that taxed it this amount, this taxed it that amount?
You don't want to hit it 3 or 4 times.
There's just a lot of confusion going on, and this is going to get worked out. I know it will eventually, but right now it's just a big mess. Consumers are unimpressed with many driver assistant features. Duh. And uncertain if more advanced systems will be useful. That's the assessment of a new J.D. Power white paper, which calls into question whether the efforts automakers are expending on driver assistance upgrades are worthwhile. Driver assistance, having an identity crisis. I had one that dawned on me last week about, lane keeping assist. Total waste of time. Because you can't have your hands off the wheel for any more than 5 minutes. What's the purpose of having it? It's not a driving assist thing. It's not a cruise control. It's not something that's going to drive the car. And it keeps fighting me on where I want the car placed in the lane that I'm in. Now, you can turn it off. I don't want to turn it off. It doesn't need, if I want it, I'll turn it on. Take it out.
You know what else they're taking out?
It ties into other things. If you turn it off, you turn off a bunch of stuff.
And to finish this up, the dreaded auto start stop feature.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I was just about to say that.
Everyone hates it. No longer going to be required by federal regulation. Got the story this week. Thank you, God. What a horrible thing. Here's the deal. It may save you, an ounce of gas. But what about all of those people that are behind you waiting to get across the intersection, waiting for the car to start, for you to hit the accelerator pedal and get through the intersection?
And the price of starters.
Well, some of them, it'll kick up and go immediately. Some of them, you're liable to hang you out there to dry.
We'll be right back.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check us out online at inwheeltime.com. We're always looking for new, informative, and fun automotive things to talk about. If you have an idea or an event or a road trip destination, let us know. Our email address is info@inwheeltime.com. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the In Wheel Time app. What are these two clowns doing over here?
Synchronized setting.
It was synchronized sitting, yeah.
When you're on the road, grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider, including the new Sirius XM podcast channel. And be sure and catch us on the Odyssey radio app, too. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon, on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time video technical director is we always need more Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, and people finder, Mr. Do-All, Mike Out of This World Mars, and Chief Engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. Be safe out there. Have a great week. Thanks again for following the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We'll see you next week.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.